Zelazny might have a run here. He pulls up. 2 laps to go at Auto Club Speedway. What a run this has been. 5 cars out front just dancing around for the lead. Salas back to the bottom. Honeycutt stuck up top. Slide job out of Salas. Crossover out of Honeycutt.
23 showing a big run here. He does.
You see Salas starting to cover it up. He goes up the racetrack. Honeycutt's clear of them both. He shoves it up in front of the 23, gets himself loose. It'll be white flag this time by. Salas down low. Zelazny looking for a hole. Side by side, 3 wide, coffee in it. White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go. Brought to you by Whiplash Simcams. Who is going to win the Luke's Playhouse 200? Honeycutt controlling the race. Coffee in second. Tires are aging. Zelazny off the top rope. Got a little bit free. He's going to crash with lights. And yes, wall there. Who knows? Honeycutt, though, leading the race. Can Coffee get a run? He's going to send it. He hits him. Big bump and run. Coffee's going to try and get away. Can Salas get there? Coffee's going to crash. Salas is going to crash. Watch Nick Lights here to the stripe. Salas is going to do it with no front bumper.
Unbelievable.
Wow. There's the white flag from Barney the Flagman. 1 lap to go at Long Beach. White flag is out, brought to you by Whiplash Simcams.
Yeah, can really hold him off. He looked like he's started to gap Cantonio just ever so slightly. Got about half of a second. It's been hovering right around there. Oh, Cantonio really pushing. He's sideways out of turn number 1. But Rayleigh just keeping that car pointed in the right direction. Nice and smooth, able to keep it going. It's going to be tough. Antonio knows that there's not very many chances, even if he can get close enough to him to make a move. So we'll see as they come through 6 and 7, head toward turn 8 onto the backstretch.
Deeper in the field, nothing changing. Lap traffic ahead. It's Kevin Peak and Bradley Alvis right in front of our race leaders down East Seaside Way. And to turn number 9 for the final time. Lap traffic in the way, and Rayleigh goes for it on Peak. He sends it into turn 9. He knows he can't wait. He knows he can't give an opportunity to Kevin Cantonio. Cantonio's going to take it anyway. Ships it into the hairpin, and Rayleigh's going to get away. Thomas Rayleigh is going to be a race winner in the North American Racing League. A last lap bump and run wasn't enough. This man wins at Long Beach.
Wow, what a finish coming through that hairpin. I thought they were all going to wad it up. We had lap traffic in there, staying in there.
New Hampshire is a state that may not see nearly as much racing as just about every state south of it, but when the NASCAR convoy rolls into the entire state, well, the entire state, nay, all of New England actually, shows up to support the races at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. The crowd that makes the trek to NHMS makes the day at the races there so much more special, and Full Send is hoping to tap into some of that virtual magic tonight in the New England Knockout 185. Welcome to Pit Stop TV and the virtual Loud in New Hampshire. I'm Andrew Cardinale IV with Zach Murtis alongside, and it's a pleasure to join you for coverage of the New England Knockout 185 at New Hampshire. Today's coverage is brought to you by the Full Send Cup Series, by Grid Gold, by Whiplash Creative, and also, unofficially, by my beautiful fiance Kayla's pot roast that was going all afternoon. She wanted me to say it. It genuinely was good enough for a shout out on broadcast, I will say, but she wanted me to make sure I mentioned it. And Kayla, make sure you stay watching because we're going to have you pick a driver to win here in a minute and put it on the screen. That said, qualifying wrapping up here this evening, Zach. While drivers wait on the timer to go ahead and count down, here is the New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
What am I looking at? That doesn't look like Victory Lane from last night. What is this?
This guy. Backstory, we were supposed to broadcast WRL Legends last night. We ended up opting not to because I got peer pressured into racing, and Zach Murtis won the second of two features we ran last night in Legend Cars on the road course. But these guys are on the oval, 1 mile, technically 1.058 miles, which makes the mileage count slightly inflated over the course of a longer race, but it is the Magic Mile.
That it is, and they refer to it as the Magic Mile for a number of reasons. A lot of great things have happened at this racetrack, and a lot of interesting races have happened at this racetrack. Maybe sort of normal races, but slightly unconventional, like when they had to postpone this race and run it towards the end of the season around Thanksgiving after the 9/11 terrorist attacks in 2001, or when we saw them start running in the rain for the first time on an oval. And as these cars start to roll onto the racetrack as qualifying is wrapped up, there are some fun ways to run this racetrack, Andrew. Running all the way down on the apron or just ripping your way around the top. It's a pretty multi-groove racetrack for a short track and a flat track too.
Yeah, we're going to see these guys all over the racetrack this evening using every bit of it, from white line to white wall, and frankly below that white line as well in the corners. Here are the standings coming into tonight's race after 12 races of 24 this season. 4 points. Zach Lockett on top, and I'd say the top half of the green names are probably good, probably locked in. The bottom few, I think they can lock in tonight. And certainly anybody that is in the yellow needs to win this evening. If you're in the blue, you're straight up in the hunt, in the battle. You are in the trenches this week and next, making sure that you get enough points. I'm looking at YouTube chat and I regret it, Rusty. Regardless, the guys in the battleground positions, if you will, everything from about 12th through about 20th. A lot's possible for them, but I think if you're Terry Vincent on down, you need to win this race. Maybe just podium, and then you've got to finish podium again next week at Daytona. You've got to do a lot. I will say those stage points, they matter a whole lot more in this series since we have the 2 stages. That can make things swing a little bit larger, but really, Zach, you've got to consider this. You've got to be podium if you're in the yellow.
I mean, looking at the schedule, Andrew, you said it, we've only got 2 races to go. We've got tonight, and we have next week at Daytona. There is not a lot of time left, and quite frankly, I don't know about you, but I don't want to be in a cut line situation rolling into Daytona of all places. That has got to be one of the worst scenarios that you could possibly imagine, rolling into a super speedway with a cut line scenario. And with how close these guys are on points right now, just 4 points separating over the cut line between Newbra and Hedgecock, they're going to be the ones who are on top of trying to get these points tonight, and they have to maximize those stage points. If you're guys like Terry Vincent, Dalton Tucker, Jamin Bernhardt, you have got to maximize stage points as well, but you said it yourself, you've got to be going for these wins.
And next week when we go to Daytona, that's the first time these guys are actually racing on a plate track like this for points aside from Atlanta. Atlanta is its kind of own category, yes, drafting style, but it's so much shorter. You race it completely differently, honestly. In terms of draft racing, you race it very differently from Daytona and Talladega, and
Don't forget it's way tighter.
right, it's a mile shorter, literally a mile shorter than Daytona. It's so much more crammed, so much faster. You aren't able to relax the entire race and, you know, play the fuel game like we will see inevitably at Daytona next week, and again at Talladega later in the season around Halloween time. But regardless, that is the schedule as the season stands. We are here at race 13. We have 14 next week, and then the chase begins at Darlington, I believe, on September the 9th. So make sure to, it might be the 2nd. It's the 9th or the 2nd, one of the two. The weeks get away from me. It would be, based on today's date, it would be the 9th. That'll be it. Yes. Calendars, they confuse me. That said, Zach, I want to get to a couple of things that we haven't really been able to talk about yet with this league. And first off will actually be the fantasy game. You have just slightly longer to play. You see some details here. That Discord link, I may have forgotten to update it. We might have to put a new one out in the YouTube chat, but if anybody has any trouble getting into the server, we'll help you out. In fact, I'll just go ahead and grab one now and pop that in YouTube chat. Also, happy birthday to Jacob Hoskins, who is racing this evening, the 47 car. He turned 22 yesterday, so this is his birthday race. But there you see the Whiplash fantasy game details. We'll give you until cars actually take the green flags. You should have about 5 more minutes to make those picks. If you have not yet, you just pick one driver from all 3 points groups, pick a stage winner for stage 1 and stage 2, and then pick a stage winner or the race winner. And that is it. Now, that said, Zach, we have standings after last week. I gotta say, I don't think we're seeing your name on here. You did not have a good week.
Look, man, we're trying, okay? Richmond was not kind to us. I know I made my picks for Richmond, and I know they fell apart pretty quickly, but I'm fairly confident I made some good picks tonight because I'm fairly confident that Mr. Conover made some good picks tonight. And yeah, we're just gonna wait. No, I picked myself. I did pick myself. I didn't wait for Josh. I didn't copy him this time.
You picked twice, actually.
Shut up. I forgot. Okay, I forgot that I picked. I saw you pinged everybody to remind them to pick, and I'm like, oh, he's usually doing this to remind me to pick, so I made a pick again.
Well, yeah, so those are the points after last week. We just started it for last week's race. It'll carry on to the end of the season. There will be no chase in this, just straight up, I guess it'll be 13 weeks of fantasy game. And, hey, I won. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but toot. I won. So, get better, everybody else. I don't know what else to say. I won. Yay. Thanks to everybody who made it happen, I guess. I don't know. Thanks to Bryce Hedgecock, Zach Lockett, you know, I picked them, but we'll keep an eye on, of course, on this as the season goes on. And power rankings coming in due tonight. I want to look at this as well. Zach Lockett on top at 80.1. These are the first power rankings we have done here at Pit Stop TV for Full Send, as I knock my phone down. Zach Lockett, Grant Applegate, Nathan Brzezowski, a bunch of them. We'll keep an eye on this. And Zach, I forgot, this is a 1 pace lap racetrack. Let's get to that grid as cars are about to roll off from the starting zone. Bear with me. Here we go. The grid coming at you. Grant Applegate, Tyler Bowling, your front row. How about these couple of guys up front all season long? Right back up front here for the start of this one. Nate Lesko, Kevin West, that's row 2, followed by Bryce Hedgecock and Charlie Hunter. Then Terrence Murphy, TJ Ivey in row 4, followed by Jeffrey Petty and Jesse Graham.
Rolling outside the top 10, and it's going to be a quick roll. Austin Thompson and Jacob Hoskins in row number 6, right behind them, 13th and 14th. You're going to find Brandon Banks and Roy Grande. Behind them, 15th and 16th, you'll find Rayshawn Wingfield, Nicholas Martinez. 17th and 18th, you will find in row number 9, excuse me, Nick Mills and Jimmy Jason. And then in row number 10, 19th and 20th on the grid, you will find Chris Mackey and Michael Newbraw. Last 4 cars on the starting grid because we only have 25 starting tonight. Brandon Finley, Terry Vincent, Nathan Brzezowski, Stephen Blemons, and Brian Matthews to lead us off 25 cars strong.
Into the start zone. We'll cover all the other stuff here in just a moment. Green flag from the Magic Mile. I forgot these pace laps. You only get one of them at New Hampshire because the track is technically a mile, and ticks it into the one pace lap system in iRacing, which I think needs updated as Kevin West is sideways. What a save by the 0-1 lap 1. It's going to hurt the tires, but hey, he's still racing. Props to him.
And it's how you get it done. Applegate leads under the green flag, lap number 2 underway. Bowling is trying to find a way to get up there to that 57 car. But look at the runs that Applegate gets off corner exit. He is really driving the point home that he has the opening run speed for this race. And we're only 2 laps in, as we've got a couple of battles a little bit further down the running order, but mostly single file amongst the top 10. The first side-by-side is a little bit further back. It's 3, 6, 9, about for the 10th spot, really.
Applegate fastest that lap. Problem 0 at the 18 and 72.
Finley's got damage.
Hedgecock went way up the racetrack as Newbraw is now in the wall. Finley has issues. Newbraw really is going to pay the price. He's stuck in the tire barriers down low on the Legends Road course, and that's it. Newbraw out. That's a driver on the cut line. So, these first couple of laps, everything is going crazy.
That's an understatement. That is a huge understatement.
Well, let's go ahead and hit weather. Race weather. There you go. Overcast skies, as you've been able to see so far. Track temp, not too hot, 82 degrees. That's kind of a non-issue right now. We'll talk more as the day goes on. If the sun comes out, and Whiplash race details, Whiplash SimCams race details. There we go. It's my own graphic. I should have it down by now. This is a pretty straight-up race. Yeah, there's the stages. I mean, 40s, 65 are the lengths, and then you run it out, the 70 to the end. It's really not that complicated. These guys should be good on fuel for every single one of these runs. Yeah, I mean, you see 82 to 86 laps. Really, you are not expected to make many green flag stops, if any, tonight. Probably none. Battle here. Hedgecock in the back bumper of Terrence Murphy. Before we go too much farther, I said we would make some win picks. While we may have run about 2 minutes shy of having time to do it before the race started, Zach, we can go ahead and still make them. And because Kayla is working on our rebrand to Pot Roast TV, I'm going to make sure that she picks tonight. That's what's happening here. So we've got our race win pick graphic. And Zach, I'm going to put you on the spot first. I'll go, and then Kayla can grab whatever she'd like. But who do we think wins this race? I know it's kind of unfair now that we've seen 6 laps take place, and Applegate is off to the races.
He's in the top 5. He's on the cut line. I'm going to take a solid pick here, and I'm going to go for Hedgecock. Say he wins this race tonight. Now that one of his biggest competitors on the cut line is out, I think it would nail the point home if he goes out there and wins this race.
I'm going to go for the guy in second right now. I have really liked what I've seen out of the 99 lately. Tyler Bowling has a win these last couple of weeks, and I think has more on the way, certainly as the season goes on. He is running second currently, and we'll take a look at the YouTube chat and wait on Kayla to make her pick. I'm curious. She's thinking. I might need to go check for smoke here in a moment, but she's thinking. We'll pull the graphic so it's not in front of the entire screen for just a moment as these guys work under lap 10 still. And, okay. Brzezowski, that's her pick. Bring the graphic back up. Nathan Brzezowski. That's a great pick, honestly. This is a flat track like Indianapolis where he most recently won. That was our first race with this group. He won his second race of the season at Indy at the Brickyard. And Brzezowski, one of the youngest in this field. If not, I think he might not be quite the youngest. I mean, he's down there, though. One of the high school students in full send, and to full send nature, right to the inside of Graham, all the way down on the apron. Great fight here between these two.
Down to 3. Look at Brzezowski. He gets a really good run there. The entry and the center rotation speed was really, really good. Look at that corner exit. He is pulling away from driver 15 and down into 1 and 2. He is running that apron really hard. And Andrew, we've learned, I hate that we've learned it because, to be perfectly honest, it's not completely realistic to me. But we've learned from our good friend Brady Moats that running the apron here at New Hampshire, running below that white line, is actually really, really good and really, really competitive over the course of a long run, and somehow doesn't burn up the tires as much as we think it would. So to see Brzezowski running that bottom line, it makes me think he's just going to burn his stuff up, but theoretically, he might actually be in a better spot.
He's not the only one running the flat. You see Petty way down there. He was all the way on the flat stuff at the bottom of the racetrack. Yeah, I mean, there are several drivers going all the way down. Not all the way to the apron mostly, but several going all the way down onto the flat where there is effectively zero banking. And that's the funny thing about this racetrack. This is one of the few ovals that we'll ever see that has a true zero banking piece of the racetrack anywhere. I mean, anything from the bottom dotted line down is flat.
Huh?
What do you mean, huh?
Hold on.
You know that.
Hold on. Well, no, I thought, and it honestly feels that way, from the first dotted line down to the white line, there's still a little bit of banking. Like a slight bit of banking.
It's flat.
It's not flat.
It's flat.
I swear it's not flat.
It's flat. I promise, it's flat. From that bottom dotted line down, it's flat. That said, stage 1, only 40 laps. These guys have already rattled off a total of 14 so far, as Kevin West has gotten himself regrouped. We saw him last night in our WRL recruitment race. Good to see him doing well tonight. Granted, yes, he slid those tires really big earlier, but still in the top 10. He's currently 7th.
He's running pretty solid right now. Heck, he was running pretty solid last night in our WRL recruitment race at Charlotte.
That's what I just said.
Yes. Yes, you did. And I heard you. And I still said it. Because I can.
You need to check the YouTube channel when you get a chance. I think Kayla's trying to make you an ambassador for Colleague Racing and their Dodge Ram program.
I'm just gonna keep looking at my screen and call it a day.
Battle here, this is for 5th. Terrence Murphy, Charlie Hunter. Hunter out of Indianapolis. And Hunter suddenly under fire to turn 3. So, again, the chase is really the battle, and oh, actually, there's a great battle behind these guys. We're going to be, I think, as the night goes on, tallying up some points, because, of course, we have our point standings off on our other monitor that we're both going to be looking at over the course of the evening, and those cars in danger of losing a spot in the chase. Those are going to be the 88, the 23, the 35, the 5, which we see some of them here even, as well as the 6. And we saw Newbra hit the wall really hard early. He's effectively out of the race. He is taking repairs, trying to get the car put back together, but it's going slow. And Stephen Blevins has been in and out of the pit lane what seems to be several times. It actually has not been. He's been getting in and out of the car, so he's got damage that I believe he's trying to nurse, or he is having issues with hardware. So he has not been able to turn any laps. And then you have these guys, the midfield. I mean, Mackey and Hoskins fighting big time here. Graham is with them. Mills is right there. Nick Mills is 15 out of the cut coming into tonight. He's getting up here and fighting with these guys, but he needs a whole lot more positions. He's down in 15th. He needs to get 15 points. That's not happening with where he is right now on the stage, as Chris Mackey makes a move here on Jesse Graham. Graham not even in the battle for the stage or the chase at all, from what I can tell. Drivers need to capitalize. Those are going to be the 18, the 20, the 51, the 24, even the 1, as those 5 are the first 5 out of the cut. And of those, I really only see Hedgecock that's doing that. I mean, Nick Mills is back here in 15th spot. Stephen Blevins is in the pit lane. Jeffrey Petty is even in this fight. He's 24th. Terry Vincent, 20th. So I mean, Newbra is absolutely having some trouble, and that is almost certainly going to flip that spot between Newbra and Hedgecock. But otherwise, Zach, I don't see much fluctuation on the chase right now. That'll change, I'm sure, as the evening goes on. But at the moment, it is very uneventful, I'd say, on the cut line.
It's a little uneventful right now, but you never know. That could change. That could always change.
Down to third gear there for Petty. I'll have the upshift here on the back stretch into fourth. And back down to third on approach to turn number 3. I remember on NASCAR 14 and such, when we had just discovered that you could downshift at New Hampshire and make some pace that way. And that was in the Gen 6 car where you only had the 4 gears, you'd go down to third. I'm surprised to see that fourth to third transition here in these cars, the Gen 7 or next gen cars, but sure enough, these guys are doing it as we watch the fight now for 5th. Terrence Murphy, one of those drivers just above the cut, trying to make sure he stays afloat. He's running well. 15th in the standings, but battling for 5th on the racetrack. I mean, even if he drops to 6th here, that's still plus 5 points in the stage. That's going to net him an extra 5 over Newbra, which will effectively become the driver on the cut line.
Look, man, I don't want to do math right now. I'll save the math for next week.
That is all we're doing tonight and next week. These 2 races, as there's Murphy hard in the wall. West kind of self-cleared, but I don't think it was anything egregious. That just happened to go the wrong way for Murphy. He gets into the fence pretty hard. He drops now down to 7th spot. Now make it 4 points that he would gain in this stage, but I'm more concerned about that car as the run goes on. Burning up that right front tire, he could lose more positions. Brzezowski is not that far back. Then Thompson and Winkfield also not very far in the distance. Good to see Chase Durheim watching this evening. One of our drivers on Monday evenings in the Nora Retro Cup Series. And here's a driver all the way down in the flat, Zach. Tyler Bowling, who I chose to win this race. He has looked amazing these last handful of weeks. And sure enough.
I was going to say, look at the runs off corner exit. The flat is just not helpful with that. Center rotation is great, but Applegate is just pulling on corner exit. I mean, look at this. Look at how much he gains.
I think a big part of it, too, is just the point in the run that they're at. You know, early in the run, Bowling, I think, can make just about as good time on the bottom as the top side. But at this stage of the run, he cannot get back to the throttle quite as soon because he can't get the car to rotate quite the way he was, 20 laps ago. Yeah, he's going down on the flat on entry, pulling the right sides up to where he gets that little bit of banking right there, and using that to kind of wedge the car and get it back down the racetrack. It's one of the tricks of New Hampshire, knowing the topography, more or less, of the racetrack. And honestly, that's a great tip for road course racing, too. Knowing the topography, that actually is what helped me at Daytona in GT cars. The Daytona road course for the 24 every January. Knowing that the racetrack in turn 1 at Daytona is crowned, and the center is actually higher than either the left or the right sides, that kind of helps you know where to place the car to get the actual best run through the corner, and Bowling is putting that on display right here. Yeah, he's way down on entry, slides up, puts the right sides just on that bank, and then right back down the racetrack. It's not necessarily the fastest, but it's working for him. He's second place. Hard to argue with that.
Pretty hard to argue when you are sitting second spot. And as we roll up towards the stage end, I mean, these guys are not going to have to pit to make it to the end of the stage. Brzezowski is down on the inside of Murphy. He's moving himself up closer and closer to more stage points. Oh, Murphy with the wrong, again in the wall for the 5. He's just following the car in front.
You see Brzezowski way down yonder. Cutting time up onto the banking again, and that kind of helps him, catches him. It's almost like in dirt racing, you're running a slider line. Enter way low, sweep up, let the banking catch you, and that load on the suspension helps actually rotate the car so that you don't carry that speed all the way up the racetrack, whereas if it was a consistent banking, there wouldn't be anywhere to load the suspension up and help the car rotate. It's all the same bank. You just keep going up and up and up the racetrack. Brzezowski again way down there right here, boom, up to the next level of banking. That helps the car turn all of a sudden. Let's jump on board with Brzezowski. Let's watch it from his point of view. Way down low, immediate downshift. He did stay higher this time on the banking. Might be realizing that it's not doing all that he was needing. Even there, he clipped the section of no banking at the bottom to help de-wedge the car and rotate a little bit on exit. Now way back down, almost clipping the pit exit cone box. And then right there is the transition, slightly. You can barely see it, but it works. Up ahead, Applegate and Bowling still very, very close, and we have a great fight as well for 10th in the stage. So there's the lead, and then here's 10th. Austin Thompson 9th. That is Rayshawn Wingfield in 10th, and Chris Mackey's 11th. And you know what? Nick Mills, I was pretty critical at the start of the race, Zach, but here he is going for 11th on Chris Mackey. He may yet be able to drive up and at least get a stage point or two. Props where props is due. I mean, he is working in that 20 car. He's going to have a run here.
Big rip on the top side. Is he going to drive it down low? He is not. Continuing.
Wingfield.
Right around the top.
Wingfield way down low in the 35. He's going to clear Thompson. Slide up in front of Mills, who has a run. Mills gives him a shot. Big time down the front stretch and back down into the corner. Hey, you know what? Nick Mills into stage points. Let's see if he can get 9th.
It's hard to break the momentum when you know the top is rolling, but honestly, Andrew, I would have gone for a switchback and tried to get to the inside of the 35 there. But Mills is ripping the top again, but Wingfield is responding. He knows that 20 car is good on the top, and he is keeping that top line defended. So what I'm saying, you gotta respond. You have to switch it up.
Nick Mills trying to get all he can in this chase battle. This position would be pretty big for him. Any number of points that he can put to his total tonight is just going to help. Anything he can get. Battle for the lead as well. We'll switch to it. Here it is. Bowling getting ahead. Applegate has got a bunch of damage. This will require a replay at some point. This is still the fight for 9th and 10th. This is big for the chase. Wingfield gets back ahead for the time being. Here comes Mackey to the inside of Mills. Insurance versus insurance, Allstate and Nationwide.
You take finishing positions out right now. This, at the moment, if he can get back in front of the 35, would put him 2 more points closer, and that would put him minus 13 to Newbraw. But with Newbraw being out, that would put him realistically in the 18th position, and that would put him, oh boy, 11 to, that would put him 9 points back from Hedgecock. But with Hedgecock being in 4th, that is 7 stage points. So in excess of 5. So that would still put him 11, 9, 5, 14 points. 14 points still. Okay, so nothing changes.
Here is what happened to Applegate, and we actually even catch us a little bit slightly behind. Let's see if we can get the exact moment. I think it was down to 1 and 2 that time, possibly. Or even a little farther back. Here it is. This is going to be what happened to Applegate. Our leader suddenly with a bunch of damage, trying to get around Finley in the 94. I mean, yeah, that was just low percentage. That was never a lane open. He read that wrong. That's really all that is, Zach, but trying to get around the slower car of Finley in the 94. Let's see this from his perspective, more or less. And we'll get back to live picture moment. I mean, yeah, you've got to assume that car is going to take the racing line up to the wall. Great battles throughout the field as we take 1 lap to go in stage number 1. Tyler Bowling leading the way in the 99. Applegate now 2nd. Great battles throughout. Rayshawn Wingfield still battling with Chris Mackey. This is for 10th. Mackey falls back. There's also this gaggle. Brzezowski's up to 5th. Hunter trying to follow through on West. You see Hedgecock just ahead. There is battling all around this 1 mile racetrack, but off of turn number 4 to the start-finish line, Tyler Bowling gets another stage win.
Waiting for the rest of the field to click on by, and there is the caution flag. That is your stage 1 finish. Everyone's going to
And
hustle back around, get back to the pace car.
Mills does finish 9th in that stage. That's 2 points for the 20 car. Anything to help. Any kind of drops in the bucket going to help that 20 car get into this chase this season. But everybody is chasing, once again, car 99.
And Brzezowski effectively above the cut line with, or not Brzezowski, Hedgecock, excuse me, Hedgecock effectively above the cut line. There it is. Took a minute, but I got there. Hedgecock above the cut line now by about 3 points, not factoring in finishing position, with Newbra out of the race.
So a lot going on already in the stage picture. We'll keep an eye on it the best as we can as the evening goes by. Tyler Bowling wins stage 1. He'll lead the field down to the pit lane here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And everybody going to get their first chance at 4 tires and fuel. Unless they were one of those drivers that pitted in that opening run. That would have been Blevins, Newbra, those couple of cars. Everybody in? And Brzezowski missed his box. I'd imagine there'll be a few more doing that. These guys just ran 40 hard laps on their tires here at New Hampshire. That takes it out of you.
Top 3, the top 3 boxes, all of them made it into theirs.
And straight down and away, look at Bowling. First in, first out. Let's go second. And I mean, this is no surprise to me. This is no surprise to me. Applegate taking all the time he can, repairing that car as much as he can under this yellow. He absolutely needs to do this.
Just taking what he can and getting that car back out onto the racetrack.
Let's go ahead and dial up driver 99. This is not the first time we've done this for a stage, but I'm trying to search for him. These team channels all over the place. But let's grab Tyler Bowling as he wins stage number 1. It was a decently uneventful stage until those final 10 laps. What happened?
Well, I just try to like save my stuff a little bit behind him, but not to lose too much space there. And I don't know if he was just getting tight or something, and I was able to get a little bit underneath him there and get around him there for the for stage 1 there.
And of course, all of these points going to help you at least improve your seating. You're pretty well safe now after these last couple of weeks. But how high are you eyeing up to try and get on this seating chart for the stage or this the chase?
I was looking at it realistically, probably 7th, maybe 6th if Daytona goes well, but I don't see myself getting above 7th before the chase.
Hey, don't sell yourself short, Tyler. That's a fantastic stage win. Best of luck.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
The IWP Racing guys, they have been on fire lately since we took over, really, at Indianapolis. They have been a lot of fun to watch. It's the SVL 99 alongside the Morries, number 10, into the restart zone to begin stage number 2. A couple of cars still in the pit lane. Terry Vincent having issues. We are green again at New Hampshire. IWP Racing right back to the front. That's the Intentional Wreck podcast. Oh, Applegate!
Applegate!
Head on to the wall. No caution yet. There it is. Yeah, that needed one. He's done.
That is a huge, huge hit for the 57. Oh my goodness.
That was absolutely head on into the wall. Some kind of either right hook or overcorrection. I suppose we'll find out if the field gets to him before he gets to the pit lane. If he's got any sort of feeling about that. Couldn't quite get to the pit lane there. Thankfully, he's at least not dropping fluid here, Zach. Otherwise, this would be a lengthy cleanup. The field is down in turns 3 and 4. I guess, Zach, keep an eye on him. Let's go see what happened here in the replay. This is a really big hit. Oh, man. That wasn't even the greatest view of it. Watch the white, light blue, and yellow 57, more or less center of your screen. Puts the move there on Jesse Graham. Sweeps up the racetrack here on corner exit, and Graham did not get the memo. Holy cow. I'm honestly not sure who to even say is at fault here. He took the move 3 wide, that's fair. And then Grande kind of tracks up, and so Applegate tries to respond. He just gets caught right in between. I don't know if I can really even blame Jesse.
There's really nowhere to go.
Got such a good restart, and that's part of it too, is it's the beginning of a 65 lap stage. You probably could wait, right, to make this move. You don't necessarily have to take this chance right away. And looking back on it now, I'm sure he would wait, because, yeah, I mean, putting himself in that position is ultimately what leads to this. I don't know that Jesse Graham did anything, you know, all that wrong. Here's Graham's perspective. Because Grande down low in the 11 sweeps up, and so Applegate tries to adjust for that, and I mean, Graham is still there.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Andrew. I just have no words. I don't really know what to say in regards to any of that, because it's just such a big meet in the middle type incident. I wouldn't want to be race control in that position. I got to play fiddle to that last night and call some shots from the booth, but I never had to call something like that, and I really wouldn't want to.
And just like that, all of his race control aspirations dry right up. Here we go, into the restart zone to continue on now with stage number 2. It's still the intentional wreck drivers out front, the 99, the 18, the 10. And here we go, green flag on the way. We're back underway, stage 2. Off the bottom here is Nicholas Martinez. You see right behind the 5 of Murphy. Watch this down to turn 3. The sparks flying, everybody fanning out in the corner. This is a pretty cool perspective. That's a great shot, too. 3 lanes at least. Brzezowski to the outside of West, trying to make it 3 wide. He gets to the right rear of the 01 car, and West gives him the light of day. Murphy tried to check up the 48. He does. And how about Nate Lesko working down on the apron underneath Charlie Hunter, trying to hang on to 3rd spot. Caution is out in the back. It's Rayshawn Wakefield. Jesse Graham involved.
We got a clean and green stage 1, Andrew, and now, well, yellows are breeding yellows.
It's been hard to tell if these guys are going to have a green flag run or some more cautions the entire time we've been here. It's sometimes they go green for 80 laps, sometimes they have 5 cautions in a row, and it's so hard to tell. But I honestly appreciate that about them, as Wingfield just got loose and Jesse Graham an innocent bystander and all of that.
I wonder if that knocked the toe out on the left front or the left rear.
Here's a look at it again.
Down below. Trying to go for a move on Grande here. And
Just
it
came
just
around.
snaps around on him. And then there's the contact right there.
I give Jesse Graham some grace on this, because the 35 was...
Oh, before.
Oh, I see that. Yeah, that looks like the 23, and it was. But again, I give Graham some grace on this, because the 35 did not hold his brake. He didn't just lock it down and stop. So here's Jesse's perspective, and see, he spins, looks up the racetrack, so Jesse starts to cut low, and then he lets it roll, and that right there is a big example of why you just gotta hold the brake and let the car slide to a stop.
At the same time, racetracks, in most cases, are self-cleaning. One would assume that a car is going to roll back down the racetrack.
Yeah, but it's just never a steadfast rule.
I guess so, but it's hard to see sometimes. Here's the wreck off of turn 4.
Man, Banks.
Oh!
Banks is done.
Yeah, that's some big hits right there.
So if we didn't have the caution for 35 and 15, there certainly would have been one for this. TJ Ivey in the 8 out of Laurinburg, North Carolina. Issues down here to turn 3. Really, it was off of 4. He gets into Thompson. Wait for it, right there. Just hits a 23. And then Banks with nowhere to go. You see the aftermath. That is big for Brandon Banks. He is just inside the chase picture. This might take him out.
I wonder if they were slowing up for the caution, and that's what caused them to get into it.
Oh, look at the
Wait
caution
for
lights are on
it.
the racetrack. That's hard to tell.
Wow. The lights aren't even on. Well, what's the pace car have to say?
Well, I think we're about to go by green. So we'll...
Oh.
Yeah, cars down the backstretch doubled up. So we'll cut it there. But... Boy, the field is narrowing down, that's for sure. Fantasy picks have got to be taking a hit, I would think. With those couple of incidents. Especially Applegate out of the race. That's gonna hurt some teams. Here we go, restart zone coming up. 53 complete in New Hampshire. A whole lot more to go. Down the backstretch, look at the whole field down off the little bit of banking in the corner into the straightaway, and now turns 3 and 4 all the way up the racetrack is the 48, and here we go. Maybe a fight for the lead between Bowling and teammate Lesko.
Single file right now amongst the top two, side by side for third, down into the corner. West puts that 0-1 car right down there to try and take away second as well. They're 3 wide right behind him. All amongst the top 10, you see Murphy, Brzezowski. They're all trying to fight as West still down to the inside for second.
And Kayla, if you're watching, if you're listening, there's a Maury's car, Wildwood, New Jersey. That's up your neck of the woods originally. Anyways, 55 complete here, 175 the total distance, so 120 to go. We also only have about 60 laps left in this stage, right? Or is it 50? 50 laps. So we've already clicked off 15 with the couple of cautions we've had. I would think these guys are going to save some tires. They kind of have to, right? It's a much longer run here. We saw the AARN guys pit after like 50. So I will be surprised to see how long these guys take their tires, I think. Whether they pit early or late, I really don't know what to expect.
I can tell you what to expect.
What's that?
Chaos. You are the chaos bringer after all.
Something like that. Murphy, a big dive on the inside, looking for fourth. Working on Hedgecock here.
Way down to the bottom.
That's how close they are. You hear the run. Murphy got a good one. Back down to the corner. Let's see what he can do. Way down low in the 5 car. He's got the nose ahead. Trying to clear the 18. It's not going to happen. Well, maybe he will. How about that? Clear enough. But you know what? Murphy and Hedgecock are going to be battling both around the bottom 6 positions of this chase field, I'd say, to start the chase off. Assuming they both make it, as they currently look like they will. They're going to be seeing a lot of each other, the 5 and the 18. So they've got to get used to it now. Brzezowski, big move here on Hunter. Tried to get clear, didn't happen. And Chris Mackey pulls up. Mackey and Brzezowski are teammates. They're missing their other part in Zach Lockett. He's not here tonight, and he is at a concert down at the Spectrum Center. But these guys having a great time without him even. He'll have plenty of stories to tell when he gets back next time around as Hoskins, the birthday boy, up at a 10th. Uh-oh. Oh, no.
3 wide here.
I thought they were going to split him 3. They tried. Hoskins hangs on a little bit longer. I know he's got some paint schemes, new paint schemes on the way. I saw some posts in the Full Send Discord server. They look fantastic, but all reliable for him this evening. As Mills gets to his outside, that was close. You saw Jacob hesitate just a moment. Nick gets to his outside, and oh, we have a slow car ahead, maybe? It's a great battle, possibly. Murphy, Hedgecock, Brzezowski, these guys fighting big time. Hunter as well. It's just like the last run. There are a bunch of really good fights all around this racetrack. A little bit of contact there again for these 2 Fords. And, you know, a lot of people for a long time have hated on New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Hopefully, racing on it recently on iRacing and seeing how well it did with the rain and everything at the Cup race this past weekend, hopefully the general opinion about this racetrack starts to change. It is a gem. Your silence is deafening.
The inside. Well, I had to sit there and think of how much of a gem it is and compare it to what I consider the gem of short tracks, which is Martinsville. Thank you very much.
Oh, sure, short tracks. I don't know that I'd be calling this place a short track for Cup racing terms.
Yeah. You don't call Pocono 3 turns. You don't think Rockingham's a short track. You don't think New Hampshire's a short track. Look,
I've been educated, okay, by Dale Earnhardt Jr. himself, kind of. By proxy, I suppose. By YouTube, if you will. He's had a couple of, we'll say, TED Talks, where he talks about what is and is not a short track. I will say, though, some 12 years ago on NASCAR 14 on the Xbox 360, I started up a league. Didn't know what I was doing at the time, but it all led to this, more or less. The Irwin Tools Short Track Series. I was only interested in one of the short tracks on the NASCAR 14 game. And would you like to know what tracks I included in that?
New Hampshire, Bristol, Martinsville, Richmond,
Dover, and Phoenix.
What?
They're a mile. I was considering, as we're 3 wide, Hedgecock on the outside, Hunter in the middle. They will back out, Hunter does. And Hedgecock got the run. He gets clear of these guys. But yeah, I mean, so okay. In NASCAR terms, I suppose you can call it a short track. But in the rest of the world...
Hoskins out, Wingfield, back straight away.
It's Hoskins.
Still making contact.
I think they were just trying to gather it back up. I'll tell you what, when you have incidents like this, you have short track kind of damage. And I think the speeds here are closer to an intermediate. The racing is closer to a short track. The hits are closer to an intermediate. It's a very in-between spot. These mile-long tracks are the bane of every statistician's existence, as Hoskins just got loose.
And then look at them gathering it back up here. Oh, I was going to say, a little bit more contact. This is rolling through 1 and 2. So Wingfield washes up off the corner to run his line, and Hoskins just comes down. They both scrape against the wall here. And then I don't know what happens as Hoskins gets back on the track. Oh, he spins himself back out.
Oh.
And they just make more contact.
That's insult to injury. That really did in the right front of Wingfield's car. He was already obviously damaged. But that made it even worse.
Not to kick a man while he's down. That's kind of the example that I would use.
Loose, Wingfield with nowhere to go, and then you mentioned he was trying to get back onto the racetrack here, taking part of the road course we ran in Legends last night, up in front of the 41 of Jason, and then turning down the racetrack, boom, door slam to the 35 again. One more look. High above. Oh, man. Roy Grande had a great view of it, thankfully gets by it. And this 41 car, Jason coming by. This was scary. But here we go, Zach. Everybody has stayed out at the front of the field. A handful of cars do come in. TJ Ivy, the first of them, in the number 8.
I don't see why coming in right now would be any different. We have just been having quick caution after quick caution. Why go in? Why not just stay out? Run this out. The only reason I would think would be to top off on some gas.
Damage repairs?
Well, yeah, but like, if you're not damaged, why pit?
Also, if you need stage points. I mean, these guys have 4 change sets, right? Go back to the Whiplash Simcam's race details. 4 change sets. You're only really expecting to make the stops at the stage breaks. That's 2. So you kind of have 2 floating sets. 1 for each of these longer stages. If you need stage points, I don't see a problem in taking a risk here, trying to put some tires on and grab some track position. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I mean, if you're already at the back, you may as well give it a shot and at least try to do something here if you really need the points for your season. Green flag on the way. A nice restart there by the 99. He takes the lead. See everybody sorting themselves out down the backstretch. Terrence Murphy. Big move to the inside. The 5 car looking good tonight. Could he get himself a win when he needs it most?
He's looking good right now, trying to get that second spot away. He settles in for third. West down to the bottom now. You saw him pull out a line just out of camera shot to the inside for third. Brzezowski ripping on the top side. Trying to make it work up there, see if he can get a couple more spots. Hunter, Hedgecock, Mills, Grande, and Mackey, your top 10. We have had so many cars out of this race now, Andrew. We started this race with 25, and now only 17 are on the lead lap. Look at that, Brzezowski way down to the inside.
I'll give credit, though. Hoskins is still in the race. Wingfield has called it a day, and he is a cut line driver. This is going to hurt him big time. He's only going to have about 20 points or so to the cut next week, I think, depending on how well Murphy actually does. It could shake things up for Wingfield big time, him not finishing this race. And I mean, he's effectively going to be credited now with 19th spot. What's up?
Is Newbrow still on track?
No, he never got back out there. He's been in the pit lane for 40 minutes.
Oh, I thought he was back out there.
Here we go, battle for 5th. This is on board, well, it was on board with Brzezowski. By the way, I've noticed this logo on the 72 car a couple of times the last couple of weeks. I don't know how Charlie Hunter knows about Kava. I didn't think they had those in Indiana. But that is a fantastic little restaurant. It's not little, it's fast casual, but it's good. Battle here, though. You're watching the 72 and 77. We're on board at the 77 of Brzezowski. And they get clear. Maybe not. Here comes Brzezowski right back to the bottom. Just that line, I get a kick out of it. It'll never get old. Oh my gosh, Mackey.
That was the send from the barnyard to hold on.
Yeah, that one fell flat.
From the barnyard to the never mind. I tried. As Kayla put it, I ran out of RAM. Yeah, I looked at the YouTube chat. Yeah. I know where you're going.
Well, this time by will have 100 laps to go. Tyler Bowling leading the way. I think there's a Nate Bowling out there somewhere in sim racing, but regardless, Tyler leading the way. Charlie Hunter just behind, but battling for 5th still with Nathan Brzezowski. I mean, this entire top 10 or so is all under a blank. I'd say whole top 12, actually. All very close. In fact, there are some great fights back here for that 11th to 12th position. Nick Mills, Jeffrey Petty. This could be a good little battle. And they're right behind Nicholas Martinez as Petty gets clear of Mills for the time being, up to the outside wall, and now Mills is the back end of the train looking up at all of them as they file into turns 1 and 2. And you see that sun poking out. I told you, if we got some sunlight, we would take a look back at the weather conditions. Here we go. Now mostly cloudy skies. That track temp is rising. So as the day going on, look at the humidity as well, 84%. It is muggy. That's gross.
I don't know about you, but a slick track at this point is really going to start turning these guys on their heads. Side by side, Mackey and Hunter for the top 5 positions at the moment. Right behind them, you see Ivy and Brzezowski going at it. Martinez and Petty trying to make do as they have broken into the top 10. I believe for the first time tonight, actually. Well, no, I think Martinez has already been in the top 10. Hedgecock, though, fighting it out back there as well, trying to get himself some more points. He was running up in the top 5. He's fallen off a little bit. This is the fight right now for the 5th spot between Mackey and Hunter on your screen. And that 72 car is still ripping up in the middle lane, but he gets a little tight right there. That's going to allow Mackey to get clear of the 72, come up and take over completely in that 5th place position.
Whoa, up the racetrack. I just saw the 48 way up yonder. Golly. Pushing the boundaries of this racetrack, yeah. You know, they do have, I think it's a lot over outside of turns 3 and 4 in some of the old campgrounds. They do have a dirt track they run, a flat track. They run AMA bikes. Pretty cool stuff. Sometimes they run midgets up there. I think when NASCAR comes to town, they try to use it a whole lot more, but he was trying to go find the dirt track as Mackey. Golly, he's digging. I give him that, but right in the side of Kevin West. You know what it is, Zach? It's the paint scheme on the 01. He couldn't see him.
Wouldn't that mean that he would have John Cena on the car?
Buddy, are you looking at the same paint scheme I'm looking at? Oh, Kevin West! He can't see the racetrack! Buddy! Hang on to it! That's his second big save in just as many stages. Now he's going to fall right back down to the bottom end of the top 10.
See, he's got camo on the car. But John Cena, man, you can't see me.
You can't. It's just 4 wheels because it is camo. The camouflage. Zachary.
Oh, boy.
Brzezowski to the inside of West. These two kind of very opposite ends, I feel like, of how they drive. West is a lot more measured and Brzezowski a lot more aggressive. You see it there. West backs it into the corner. Meanwhile, Brzezowski sends it up the inside. I mean, West may not enjoy it necessarily, but you know what? I feel like that's in the spirit of the Full Send Cup Series. Brzezowski always on full send. Which also, I think, fits the car number he runs. As long as he doesn't self-spin 3 times and once under caution.
Well, hopefully he doesn't drive a race car like he fixes roads.
We're not on the same page. You're a county over in a different library. I'm talking about Carson Hocevar, the number 77. Hocevar, before the race even started, when they were doing siding laps in the rain, he spun the car off of turn 4, looking like he was trying to impress Tabs, and oh my gosh! What a save for Nathan Brzezowski. That's not a car you save.
Well, Carson Hocevar wishes he could save a 77 car as good as Nathan Brzezowski.
Oh, man. Here it is. This is the catch-off turn 2. Oh, man. Heads up by Petty.
I was going to say, I don't know about you, but that's a Murtis Esports Murtis Mega Miss nomination right there for the 24.
Yeah, watch this. This is incredible heads-up driving. I mean, this is A+ awareness out of Jeffrey Petty. He sees it. Pulls down, just checked up enough. That was incredible.
You see the lights on the tack, they're going up, and then the second he notices, boom, they just drop right down. So he jumped out of that gas really hard, maybe even slammed on the brakes quite a bit. This is why I hate that iRacing will not allow us to see driver telemetry, which I understand. I understand why we can't see driver telemetry. You can only see your personal driver telemetry. But I would love to see the throttle and brake inputs on that 24 car just to know how much he jumped out of the gas, hopped on the brake, and got right back in it.
And it comes just as we were giving him, I guess, props for not self-spinning, quite like Hocevar did the other day, but he nearly did. You know what? He nearly looped it. Great driving, though, by both drivers not to have a larger issue. Up front, some great battles here. This is Charlie Hunter racing with Chris Mackey, Terrence Murphy. It's interesting, you know, you see the 5 and 9, you typically think those are teammates because of, well, Hendrick Motorsports. To my knowledge, they are not. And we can confirm that. So, yeah, Mackey, I knew he was on Adrenaline Racing. Murphy, yeah, Ivy Racing Incorporated. So, those two not teammates. But, again, you see the 5 and 9 because of Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott in the Cup Series. You think those are going to be teammates, and they're not. So that's a little weird, I feel like.
I don't know, man.
And again, these guys racing to the end of lap 105. That's the stage number, so 16 to go this next time by. And from there, they'll run the final 70 to the end of the race. Oh, look at that. Mackey on the transition there from banking to flat. He got free. Yeah, the field is really slimmed down. We're down to 16 cars now with Jason out of the race. I don't know why. I don't know what happened to the 41, but he is out now. And Jesse Graham, he's still in the session, but he's not in the car. It doesn't look like he's going to be in the car. Actually, he might be in the car, waiting. He's been there for 6 minutes.
I would assume that if the car is still in the pit lane, he is still in the car.
Yeah, no, you're right, actually. Speaking of, for Newbraw, that car might actually be on the mend. It has stopped smoking, at least.
Where do you get 3,000 seconds? What? How many minutes is that?
Well, divide by 60.
Hold on.
We're coming up on 50 minutes.
Oh. You got to your calculator faster than me.
No, it displays as seconds on the graphic, but ATVO does tell me minutes.
Oh, so you cheated.
Yes.
Glad you admit it.
I mean, it's just what was displayed to me. Regardless, here's Nate Lesko. We talk about the 99 being so good lately, and this is actually a great callback moment for our power rankings now that we're using them here in full send. There you see Bowling up to 5th on this graphic, and I went back and I collected all the results for the entire season. I rated them myself, my own top 10s, all of that. I mean, that really just breaks ties for the most part, but this is based on these stats from these drivers all season long, and there's a couple of clear favorites. Now, Lockett obviously is not helping his case tonight. He's not here. I think he's at a 21 Pilots concert. I'm not entirely sure. Whatever's playing at Spectrum Center, that's what he's seeing. But Grant Applegate, 2nd. He's going to take a big hit. This race for him is like nightmare fuel. He is going to be credited the 21st. That is going to be a huge hit. So it's kind of like who steps into that gap with neither one of the kind of typical front runners here. I mean, Bowling winning the stage, that was kind of a clear heads up, and he's even still leading now. As you see, he's ahead here of Lesko, as there is the 99 car. So he certainly looks like he's poised to step into that spot. 59 laps, that'll be 60 this time by as we get 11 to go in the stage. Then you look towards the 72, 77, there's Hunter. Some call-outs for his paint scheme in the Discord, or not the Discord, the YouTube chat, there he is. He is looking good, but I mean, not really, taking over as the top guy. Same for Brzezowski, who had that save. He is now down to 12th position, trying to save his tires and make it to the end of the stage. Nathan definitely struggling with that race car. And from there, Bollinger's not here. Nate Lesko then kind of steps up. So maybe, admittedly, Zach, maybe the 10 and 99 wouldn't be looking quite so good if A, Applegate hadn't crashed, and B, if Lockett were here. But with their absences, they are the next best, I think.
As we roll up on the stage too, Andrew, I mean, this race is going to change again. I think that's one thing that we should just really look at as a whole. Once we get to the stage, this race will change again. We're finally starting to settle into a bit of a run, and we're about to get another caution here in less than 10 laps. We're just going to re-rack them, restack them again. I mean, we never know where things are going to end up as we roll into the later parts of the race.
And we talk about 16 drivers being here. That's how many make the chase. We don't have many drivers left in here that are actually still in proper contention, but on the outside looking in. The drivers that would fit in that category, let's see. Petty. Blevins is actually disconnected, so he's no longer here. Mills is still in the hunt. Hedgecock, technically. Newbraw is still in the session, it looks like, but not on the racetrack. Hasn't been for 54 minutes nearly. Wingfield is out. Banks is out. Yeah, this is going to be a very different picture in Daytona next week. That's for sure.
I don't even want to think about Daytona right now. Oh, up the racetrack. Ivy and West getting very close together off of turn number 4. They're fighting it out right now for the 7th spot. Got to take a look at things as they run, though. Hedgecock has that final stage point at the moment, and Mills wants to get it from him. There you see the 18. There you see Mills right behind him. These guys are duking it out on the cut line now. Newbraw is dead last, 96 laps down, so it's these two duking it out. And right now, Mills has not gained anything on that 18 car. If anything, the gap has equalized as what it was in the points right now. So it was before
15.
stage 1. It was, oh,
Well, 15 to Newbraw.
Exactly. It was 11 points to Hedgecock, and Hedgecock gained 5 points on Mills, so mark that up to 16. This would put the gap to 17 points between the two of them on the cut line right now as Mills tags the wall hard. That was a big impact.
Yeah, that was. That was a big hit there for the driver of the 20. He is falling back, you can tell. He's got issues. And really, that leaves the only fight on the racetrack at the moment to be these two. This is for 7th. Ivy hanging on to it. Here is Trailer Park dude, Kevin West, and even he has problems there off of turn 4. It seems like these guys are at the extent of what their tires can really manage, which has me a little bit A, concerned, B, curious about stage 3. Do we actually see anybody try to go for a pit stop, even if we were to run the whole thing green? And, you know, certainly with the drivers we have left, I would think that we can. Only 16 cars remaining, 14 on the lead lap. I would think we can certainly run it green. Will we, though? That's the question. We'll have to go over these paint schemes once we get into stage 3. A lot of great comments about them. There are some good-looking race cars out here, and I know that the field has really been trimmed down tonight for whatever reason, but usually we have a bunch of really good-looking race cars in this series, and certainly it's made it that much more fun to talk about as we have 2 laps to go here in stage number 2. Bowling looking to sweep the stages.
That 99 car is looking strong, Andrew. Got a almost 2-second lead, about to be a 2-second lead over Lesko in that 10 car, and then it's a further second back to Murphy. I mean, it has been the night for Bowling.
These two swapping spots. TJ Ivy drops back. West moves ahead. 1 lap to go now in stage 2, and here comes Jeffrey Petty. This could be a great opportunity for the 24 car. If he can get both of these guys, that would suddenly be 4 points for his stage. That would be big for him. He comes in, 20 out. I think he might have gotten, I don't think he got any stage points in stage 1. So 4.
No, he didn't.
4 would put him ahead of Blevins and not much closer to everybody else. But off of turn number 4, it will be Tyler Bowling once again for a stage. Nate Lesko second, then Murphy, Mackey, and Hunter your top 5. Petty has to settle for 9th in the stage. It'll be Martinez, West, Ivy, Petty, and Hedgecock, the rest of your top 10. Nick Mills, no stage points that time around. He finishes the stage in 11th. But there is your 2-time stage winner on the evening. That means we'll talk to his teammate, Nate Lesko, who finishes second here in stage number 2. Once again, when it's not the 93 or the 57 out front, it seems like it's these IWB Toyotas, the 99 and the 10, stepping in, taking over, and earning all the points.
Now that we've finally completed stage number 2, Andrew, it's time for pit stops once again. And these guys are going to take these cars right down to the safety of the pit lane. 4 fresh Goodyears on them and top off on race fuel. And hopefully set themselves up for the stage end. Into the pit lane they go. Bit of a stack up.
These guys are all going to work into their boxes. Watch them all duck left. There goes Hoskins. He's a lap down. He'll find his box. Murphy and everybody else now filing down into their pit boxes. There you see Bowling, the 99. Who's able to get out ahead of him, if anybody? Does anybody try 2 tires? I don't think so. Murphy down and away, but it's still Bowling that gets out ahead. Lesko, I don't know. I'm not sure if it was Lesko or if it was Murphy out first. Looks like it was a 10 car. Let's dial him up. Finishes second in that stage to his teammate who already won stage 1. Let's go ahead and bring in the driver of the 10, and it feels like we're kind of just alternating teammates at this point between Bowling and Lesko for these stage interviews. Since Bowling already won the first stage, we'll talk to you here, Nate. Stages 1 and 2, pretty calm. You improved there in stage 2. What's it been like out there for you?
Man, I don't know if I have any more pace to that. I'm trying to keep up with it. Unfortunately, Grant got caught up in something. Tyler, but those guys are quick, so I was just trying to keep up pace with them. I'm not sure if I have anything for Tyler, but we'll give it a go.
And I gotta say, I love the paint scheme. It's fantastic. I recognize Wildwood, New Jersey. My fiance Kayla is from New Jersey, and I'm curious what the story is there behind it.
Yeah, no, we take a family trip every couple of years. Get a huge beach house, and we love going to Maury's Piers just as a place to go with all the kids. So, it's a special place for us.
I mean, it's no Hawaiian Punch number 10, but it looks good. Nate, good to talk to you. Best of luck here as you're trying to just beat your teammate once again. It's like you guys trading wins lately. Best of luck.
All right, thank you.
Nate, let's go. Second as we get ready for stage number 3. We'll get him back down to his teammates as we get this race restarted this time around. Bowling, Lesko, your front row into the restart zone. Stage 3 officially underway. To the end we go. Some big moves in turns 1 and 2, Zach. We've been seeing that on these restarts. That's the place to get it done. Problems, Hunter! Hunter in the 72! Big crash for the 24. Caution is out.
Big impact.
Yeah. And that's a mistake up at the front that makes somebody else pay for it. And I've just noticed what the sponsor is on that 24 action. I'll talk about that in a moment. Let's see the view from Petty.
Talk about the point situation. Oh man, he did a really good job trying to miss the car in the wall, but he got clipped.
Yeah, and that's one where no amount of sorry is going to get the points back that he would have earned in this race. He's now got to try and just get it to the end of the race. Here's Charlie's Hunter's point of view as he just gets a little free on cold tires. And, you know, from Petty's perspective, he's going to be frustrated. This is not a mistake you expect out of somebody like Charlie Hunter. But it's New Hampshire turn 2, and as long as I've been on the sim, which is now 10 plus years, I keep saying it, trying to make myself realize that it's real, and it still doesn't feel it. But regardless, it's New Hampshire turn 2. Everybody knows it gets free. It's part of it, and Hunter just made a mistake. Here's the overhead. It's going to be Brzezowski down low. No, actually, it was Hedgecock. Oh, man, and Petty's racing Hedgecock for the chase at this point.
I don't know what to tell you, Andrew. That's the short end of the stick for the 24 car.
Yeah. Just hate it. See the guy running well on the stage, doing all that he can. I talk about it, prioritize the stage, and he did, unfortunately, ends up out of contention at this point. He can, I think, continue on in the race, but I won't be able to get a whole lot out of it as we take a look from a couple of cars back. It was Hedgecock who ultimately tagged the 24, but certainly Bryce couldn't have done anything. This is from Nicholas Martinez. Oh, man.
Ooh, threading the needle. The Red Sea parted right there.
That was impressive. We'll run it back. Here's the Mercy Sports mega miss, potentially.
And Martinez was frustrated, too, because there was a big stack up on the entry of pit lane. Cost him a lot of time, and
wow.
I think gaining like 4 spots right there is going to be something that he's pretty okay with.
I mentioned the logos on the side of the 24 car. Here's Jeffrey Petty. If you can't tell, Zach, that is
Tennessee.
Look at the signature over the wheel.
Oh, it's Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
Obviously, carrying a heavy heart right now with Dolly Parton just passing away. And I just found out earlier
Tim
today
Curry,
that Tim
too.
Curry passed away.
Yep, I think the Curry family waited a day because of the shockwave sent out after losing Dolly Parton. Regardless, here we go. Green flag on the way. Cool to see that out of Petty, rapping Dolly Parton. That's just somebody that feels immortal, right? I don't really think you're going to lose her, but... That said, we press on. We're down nearly to 60 laps to go. 61 this time by, actually, down the front stretch. And, oh, Murphy had a little checkup there. Everybody's checking up behind him. That checked up Mackie, Brzezowski, and here comes Martinez. He's sideways. Hang on to it. He alt F4s. He alt F4'd.
There's no way.
He did. 100% he alt F4'd.
That's got to be frustrating.
I get it. I hate that. I hate that. Pet peeve. Hey, Petty's still in this. He is right behind Mills and Hunter. Obviously, as the run goes on, I'm sure that 24 is going to be compromised, but for now at least, making up time. Actually, getting past Nick Mills here. Battles all throughout the field at this point in time. And with the departure of the 48, it takes us down to 13 cars on the lead lap, 14 running. This is abnormal by every stretch of the imagination for this series. I know Mackey, Chris Mackey, commissioner of the series, he has been very vocal in that this is not what he expects out of this series, not at all what they're going for. Admittedly, this is off the cuff, so I'm sorry, Chris, if I'm inaccurate, but I believe you can get involved. Perhaps at least contact us. He's actually in the Pit Stop TV Discord, so I mean, the worst thing he tells you is no. Unfortunately, there's not a framework for that this season, and at least you can try and get on the waiting list maybe for next season. I know they're aiming a big season 3. I think the entirety of next year is following the NASCAR Cup Series calendar. I saw some ripples about that in Discord today with the announcement of the 2027 NASCAR National Series calendars. Regardless, we're also just missing a lot of guys. This is, I mean, let's also be frank, we're missing 11 cars that started this race and are just out already. But we also, there's at least 10 more guys who I think typically should be here and just have something going on tonight.
Well, regardless, we've still got a little over 55 laps left in the race, and I'll tell you, Andrew, I was just thinking about this as we roll. Hopefully we stay green long enough for me to get the point out, but somebody who has had a pretty quiet day while on that cut line fight is Thompson in the 23.
Yeah.
He's been involved in a couple of incidents. He got involved in one of the starter incidents earlier on in the race, but realistically speaking, he has just been kind of riding since then and letting his competition fall away around him. The only ones that are realistically still involved in the fight are Hedgecock and Mills. And, Thompson walked into this race at the moment about 40 points above the cut line, actually 40 points above the cut line right now. He doesn't really score much stage points, if any, so he's not really gaining on the cut line, but realistically, he's not losing either.
I mean, just the race of survival. He's likely to pass Wingfield, or at least be close to Wingfield, and make it a much more open playing book next week at Daytona. He's also going to be a lot closer to Banks. So if either of them have issues, he can try and capitalize again next week if they do. And obviously, Daytona is Daytona. You don't want to ever have to rely on that racetrack in any way, shape, or form when you need to make up points. But he's at least bettering his situation just by staying in the race, making sure he does not fall out, keeping the car in one piece. He's doing a great job of all of that as he runs at 7th. Great battles, though, 2nd and 3rd. Murphy and Lesko swapping spots.
Murphy all the way down below the white line. Trying to get that center rotation, make it work for him, but that top line is just so powerful. Let's go. Gets clear. Here comes Brzezowski to the top side. He's going to try to steal the spot away.
They are right behind the leader bowling. That is the distance between those two cars off of turn 4. They are still super close. Watch the turn 1. You're on board with Murphy in the 5. That is Brzezowski in the 77 up top. Big door bang. They're not done. Down the backstretch, look at this. Brzezowski has the advantage. Turn 3, though. Murphy points it down low all the way down to the flat. Sweeps up. Door bang again. And that might actually work. But Nathan's only going to take so much of that. He backs up. That was smart. That was smart out of Nathan Brzezowski. Don't get caught up in the fight. You've got a whole bunch more points and a whole lot more to fight for.
Ooh, gets right to the bumper, though. And gets to the inside off corner exit, or at least tried to. Now trying to rip back around the top line again. Maybe a crossover move on corner exit, but here comes Kevin West in that 0-1 car. And right behind him, he's bringing Mackey with him into the fight.
And this is a desperation drive out of Murphy. You know, he needs to get all that he can. He is getting all that he can. Getting every bit out of that race car right now, so he's bound to use these guys up a bit more than they would use him up. The 99, the 10, the 77, they're all pretty secure in the chase field right now, even West in the 01. The 5 is not. He is doing everything he can to maximize everything he can out of this race, so it makes sense that he's getting a little more physical with these guys. Points it down to the inside here in turn 1, underneath Lesko. Up the racetrack a bit, side by side. No door that time. That's good. But they're close.
Trying to rip around the high side. Murphy trying to see if he can make it work. Ooh, really close to the wall right there for Lesko.
There you see from way out above the backstretch. There they are, spread out through 1 and 2. Oh, contact! Brzezowski leans on the 5, and oh, spinning! That's the 72. Again, no, it's the 9. Mackey. Caution's out. He didn't hit anything. This is going to shake this race up. These guys just ran about 20 laps on that set of tires. If you've been saving them all night long, do you come get a set? I think yes. The fall off already is, you know, a second or two. As we look at what happened to Chris Mackey here, I think just a self spin got loose on exit. We'll also see in a moment what happened between Brzezowski and Murphy, but the 9 off of turn number 2 just over-rotated. That was a good use of releasing the brake, because he rolled down out of the way, but even that is a little bit iffy sometimes. The car behind Hunter easily could have read that wrong, and then you go back to the car that's spinning that isn't holding the brakes, and suddenly it's their fault. So, I mean, it's best to always just hold them, but here's what happened with Murphy and Brzezowski. Murphy trying to get the straight run off the corner. Brzezowski just got into him. That's racing. You see that was down to 3, though. Murphy almost took a swipe back at him, and then at this point, the caution's out.
Yeah, that could have very easily been a right hook right there on corner entry.
Pit stops.
Pit stops underway. Let's go. Misses his box on entry. That's going to cost him some time, maybe to the 0-1 here.
Here comes Ivy.
Ivy.
2 tires, I think.
2 tires. Jinx, you owe me a soda.
Ah, well. Maybe I'll grab you a Red Bull.
I don't drink Red Bull, man.
Well, I think this guy does. TJ Ivy grabs a whole bunch of spots under this
Did
yellow.
one car stay out?
That would be the lapped car, I believe, of Nicholas Martinez. He got back in the race. He is 2 laps down. Let's go ahead and grab driver number 8, TJ Ivy, who takes 2 tires under this yellow. And TJ, this is a big swing for you. I've been seeing 2 tires in the sim has gotten a whole lot more stable. I'm still scared to death when I race to do it, because I remember how years ago it would always be a death sentence, it felt like, but it seems like it's getting better. Do you have confidence in it, or is this a big swing for you?
No, it's a big swing. I haven't had the pace most of the night. So, and I burn up a set of rights there in that stage 2 caution that was like midway. So I was behind on tires. So I went ahead and just threw some lefts on, have some fresher ones if there's another caution and I can take some rights. So we'll see how it works out. You know, I know I'm going to get ran over by these dudes behind me, but at least you got to take some chances, right?
Absolutely, and the chase is coming up. You need to do it. Best of luck here. Hopefully it works out.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.
TJ Ivey in the number 8 car, a good-looking 8 car at that. He will lead under the green, Zach. I'm trying to get him back down to his team channel. There we go. We'll get him back down there, but anything can happen here. I got him in the wrong channel. I'm searching. TJ, I am so sorry. Where is the Ivy channel? I found it. There we go. Green flag. These cautions happen quick, I promise. I'll get more smooth as I learn these team names, but... Oh, there goes Hoskins again into the wall. Waiting on the yellow. No caution yet. They might let it run. Hedgecock trying to get ahead of Ivy. TJ, I am so sorry. Kevin West to the inside for second. You see the 3 wide behind. Lesko, Bowling, Brzezowski in the middle. They're getting things figured out. Hoskins, by the way, he is still racing. Bowling, big send.
Single file for the most part. Brzezowski side by side with Ivy down into the corner. I don't know, Andrew. I don't think those 2 tires are realistically working in his favor right now. Oh, Brzezowski going around. Lesko makes contact with the 77.
And Brzezowski's got damage, it looks like. The 77 continues.
No caution.
No yellow. Murphy now losing spots. Here's the run down the front straightaway. This is getting hectic. Let's see if we can get a look back at it as TJ Ivey continues to get passed up. Of course, he's got the left sides on he talked about, so he knows he's going to fall backwards. He's just trying to hang on to what he can as he tries to even the tire math back out. He talked about it there. Let's see what happened with Brzezowski in the 77 car. So Brzezowski is ahead of Ivy there at a turn 1. He's got Lesko on his right rear. Hunter up underneath the 8 car, then off of turn 2. Just like earlier. Gets loose. Lesko gets a big piece of it. There is damage on the 77. Heads up, though, to not hit the inside wall. And now Lesko has got that damage on his car. He got up into Murphy. That set that 3 wide up. And now, if we come back to live picture, I'd imagine they are somewhat close to it. They are. But Kevin West is going for the race lead on Hedgecock here.
And the sun's back out.
Yes.
Well, it was briefly.
The sim says overcast still, but you can tell the sun is poking through a good bit more. That's probably about to switch conditions. But the track temp is down to 80 degrees. A part of that is just the amount of cars. Smaller field at this point, 15 cars. That's going to help cool the racetrack a little bit. Won't build as much temperature, so especially after a caution or 2, it's going to cool down. Everybody's going to like that, I think.
Cooler track, more grip. And Kevin West is going to need all the grip in the world to go up there and catch Hedgecock in the 18.
It's kind of like how Earth is like in the Goldilocks zone for planets in our solar system. Right, if it was a little bit too much, a little bit too closer, or a little bit closer, there we go, it would be too hot. If it was a little farther away, it'd be too cold. Of course, obviously, in respect to the sun. In this case, the track, you mentioned a cooler racetrack means more grip, only to a certain point. You get it too cold to where you can't build any temperature, and it's actually worse. So an ice-cold racetrack is absolutely an issue. Whereas an 80-degree racetrack like we have right now, and this is almost perfect conditions for racing. Yeah, it's got some temp, but it's not overly hot. It's got just enough to have some variation in lines too, where of course the racing line these guys typically run is going to be hotter than the other lines higher or lower on the racetrack. So you've got options. Makes it multi-groove. This is Goldilocks zone for these drivers. 35 to go this time by. Of course, we are starting to think about final pit stops if we'll have any. We shouldn't based on fuel, but if we have another caution, of course, I think it's pretty much Pandora's box, depending on where the yellow comes out, if we get one. And then Zach, driver of the day, also on our minds.
The closer and closer we get to the end of the race, the more we start to think about driver of the day for these guys. And there's some good picks. I think there are some very good picks to think about when it comes to driver of the day. But we still got a little bit of time left before that, but drivers are running out of time to get up there and run for the race win. Side by side here, this is for the 8th spot, Thompson underneath Ivy, who continues to go backwards on those new right side tires.
Left side.
What?
That was his whole interview. Took left side tires. He got behind on the tires early when he took right sides under a caution mid-stage 2. So took left sides under that caution. As here we go, battle for second. It's Bowling and West. And Bowling is going to have the run. He should be clear in a moment. So IWP 124 as West is the spoiler.
It may just be that I'm exhausted from the workday, but I could have sworn that I heard Ivy say 2 right side tires instead of 2 left sides. But I digress. There's contact behind them. Lesko and Murphy banging off each other's doors off of turn number 4, and Murphy all the way down to the bottom. You can see Mackey back there trying to make it work as well. And the 5 car is going to park it on the nose of the 10, complete the run. And Hunter is going to, he was going to jump into the inside, but thinks better of it. And they are back single file racing as the 5 car is up to 4th.
I never want to advocate for guys to relax too much, and just kind of be complacent. As our own Chris Winstone says, complacency kills. But frankly, if I'm the top 7 right here, I think I'm relaxing until the end of the race. You've got a good spot, just drive it out to the end. 30 laps to go nearly. Get the points, move on. I mean, there's so many drivers that are either losing points for a bad finish or losing points for just simply not showing up. If you are still in it, especially in this top 7, you're in a good spot. But these are race car drivers we're talking about, and the top 7 are all within 2 seconds of one another just about. That means they've all got a decent chance to win this race still. Let's go up the racetrack. Hunter gets underneath. It is now 30 laps to go. These two fighting for 5th, 6th, with 7th just behind. Hunter has the nose ahead. Great run for Lesko, though. And Chris Mackey just wants to pass them both. And look at the way Mackey makes that speed down on the apron. Slides in there right behind the 10 car. Where is he going to go down in the corner? Obviously way down low again to the apron. Hunter covers it off.
He just keeps running down there, Andrew, running on that white line. Below that white line, he's... Oh, Lesko in the wall.
Battle for the race lead. Bowling and Hedgecock, teammates. There they are. Hedgecock has got the spot once again. Bowling sits in 2nd. There's Hoskins up the road. He's got damage again. As Mackey slides back in behind Lesko. Top 3 back under a blanket here. There they go down the front stretch. Side-by-side fight between Lesko and Mackey at the back end of this group. It's the top 3. A bit of gap back to Murphy, but look at the gains he gets from running the bottom in turn 1. Bowling and Lesko, or Bowling and West, rather, not done. On board now with Kevin West.
Coming up on a lap car here. Oh, that was a little bit of an impact right there for Hedgecock.
That is pretty much the lapped car. Jacob Hoskins about to go one lap down.
I know Martinez doesn't want to see that car go one lap down because if there's any more cautions, that 48 car is going to be the one who gets it, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Hedge, oh my goodness, look at Bowling, send it down to the corner. Here comes Murphy into the mix as well. And Hoskins has to find a way to let these guys go and not interrupt the fight for the lead. He's going to pull it way down. That's going to get in the way of Bowling. He's going to split the lap car. West on the outside line, and Bowling still gets to the race lead.
Bowling gets out ahead. He got underneath all those cars down in 1 and 2. Hedgecock hangs on to the top side. Bowling might be able to clear this time. West points down. Yes, Bowling clear for the lead. West going for second. He's got to run. I was about to say West looks good for this win, maybe. Bowling suddenly leads, and he has got nothing holding him back. West now in second. Murphy looking for third. Hedgecock just had no fight for him.
Hedgecock got a 2-for-1 special, and that by that I mean
in the wrong direction.
Lost 2 spots in one corner. And now Murphy underneath the 18 car trying to find his way forward into the third spot. A little bit of contact on corner exit. Got to look right behind him. That 72 car, Charlie Hunter. He's trying to find his way past these guys. Murphy is going to get clear of Hedgecock. I gotta wonder what's going on with that 18 car. Did he just burn through his stuff?
I recall him mentioning last week he didn't feel too good about New Hampshire, and I mean, he got ahead with the race lead, I think, because of the restart, with Ivy taking the 2 left side tires and just kind of not really going anywhere. And now that tires are starting to equalize and guys are able to actually use them, you see some differences in their wear and stuff. Hedgecock just headed the wrong direction as the tires wear out, but here you go. Tyler Bowling, Kevin West, that is now the fight for the win here at New Hampshire. Just over 20 to go. It'll be 21 at the line. Murphy and Hunter will fight for third, more or less. And Hedgecock is just trying to hang on with Lesko in 6th, Mackey in 7th, Brzezowski down the road just ahead of Thompson now for 8th, and Nick Mills hanging on to a top 10 at the moment.
Everything's still taking shape in the race, Andrew. We've still got 20 laps to go next time by the flag stand, and at this point in time, I mean, I don't know about you, but I feel ready to make my driver of the day picks.
I think we'll wait just a little bit longer, see what these guys do here to the end as we take a look at the fan cam. 20 laps to go, that's 20 miles more or less. I'll tell you what, a caution, if we could get one at this point, would shake this up big time. Do you take the track position? Do you maybe take 2 tires, try to get best of both worlds, or do you just take 4 tires and try to run it back?
4 tires, if you have it.
It's a big hypothetical. Don't get caught up on it for too long, but it's one we have to think about. As these guys get inside of 20 laps to go, I want to give a big thank you to the partners that make these broadcasts possible. Of course, Grid Gold, Ivy Designs, and Fish Speed Brakes. I've been bad the last couple of weeks, but I'll get it. About remembering that it's the Fish Speed Restart Zone. There we go. Every time we exit turn 4, though, these drivers run through it. There's the Fish Speed Restart Zone, conveniently green this week. And of course, the Ivy Designs Pole Award went to Grant Applegate, and well, he's now out of the race. In the wall that time, Murphy, I think, got it, or was that? It might have been Hunter, actually. It was one of those 2 red cars. I think it was Hunter in the, yeah, it was Hunter. Got the wall there off of turn 2 as he works on the outside of Murphy, potentially for the 3rd position.
Not going to get there just yet.
Again, though, these groups make it possible. Would not be here this season without them, and you know, they started the season here at Full Send with a different broadcaster, and we appreciate his efforts, certainly. We never really had much of an interaction, really, at all, but it's to my understanding that he was able to take advantage of a real-life work opportunity, and you know what? When those come along, you can't pass them up. So congratulations to Mr. Cartledge, and oh, in the wall there is West. As we get down to about 15 laps to go, 16 that time actually. A big thank you to our partners as well here at the channel. Whiplash Simcams, MX Wraps, ATVO, Virtus Esports, CC's Business, the North American Racing League, Whiplash Creative, and MX Designs. And Zach, as we are within 15 laps to go this next time by the stripe, I think we can go ahead and do North American Racing League Driver of the Day nominations.
Ready for it if you are. I think I've thought a lot about my Driver of the Day pick, and I'm going to start by giving an honorable mention to Thompson in the 23. He's done a really good job of keeping himself in contention with this race. Like we said, he's had a bit of a quiet day. I don't think he's fully deserving of Driver of the Day material, and I know Chris Lewis and those TI guys, they try to maximize what they can, but at least I'm going to throw out an honorable mention. My first pick, though, I'm going to give it to Bowling. He's done a phenomenal job of keeping that 99 car in contention for the race win. He has been up and down throughout the top 5, really throughout the field a little bit, but he is honestly in a good spot to get this race win as low as 4th. Okay, I thought he had dropped a few further spots down, but hasn't left the top 5 all day then. That is consistency. That's Driver of the Day material. I think another driver to look at, honestly, the guy in the 2nd spot, Kevin West. He has done a phenomenal job. He's stayed inside the top 10 all day. He hasn't led any laps, but he has been showing a lot of late run speed as we get to the end of the stages and here at the end of the race too. I think he's a solid contender for the win and for Driver of the Day.
I'll tell you what, I'm being peer pressured. Kayla would like to pick the 77 of Nathan Brzezowski for Driver of the Day, so hang on to it, Kevin West. I'm butchering his. I know Kevin West. I know his name. I don't know why I keep stumbling over it today. There's Nathan Brzezowski. She just I think she just wants to pick the last name. That said, I'm going to look at our usual positions gained, and I mean, up 13 spots. I mean, hey, Brzezowski is up 15 since the start of the race. That's fair. I'm going to go Chris Mackey. Look, we haven't really seen a whole lot of him these first few weeks that we've been covering the series. We don't really have a good read on him yet, so we don't know what to expect, but coming up from 13 spots farther down than where he is now, so 19th on the grid, he could have a top 5 here shortly if he can just get by Lesko in the 10. Chris Mackey is really making an impression on me this evening, quietly. You mentioned Austin Thompson earlier, quietly having a good run. Mackey having an even better run, maybe quieter.
Well, with only 10 laps to go in this race, Andrew, 10 by God laps. The racing is winding down for the evening, as you saw the 5 of Murphy and the 72 of Hunter both get a little washed up in the center of the corner, jump right back into the run just a little easier on corner exit, and these guys are just going to keep fighting it out for that 3rd spot. One of them's going to talk to us tonight, and we're still trying to figure out who it's going to be, but I think the top 2 is at least pretty well secured in terms of overall track position.
I love that shot.
Just driving it in again.
This camera does not get used all that often. Sometimes I hit it by mistake. Sometimes it looks so good in a fight. We have it there for a reason. Now Hunter, though, goes back to the top side of the racetrack as he looks for daylight on Murphy. Here he goes. Let's use it again. It gives such an interesting perspective to these battles, a shot you just don't usually see. And I think it really adds. But regardless, we're inside of the final 10 laps, and this 99 car is not looking back at all. Great run so far for Bowling. Has led the most laps, over 110 at this point. Easily the dominant driver of the evening. And he's looking to make it 2 in a row. He won earlier this season. This would be 3 in a row for the team, but 2 in a row for Bowling. He was in victory lane at Chicagoland. That was back earlier in July. And this is now potentially his 3rd win of the season coming up. Which, by the way, Kevin West has got one. He would like to get even up on that playing field at 2 wins. He would then join Applegate, Hunter, Brzezowski, and Bowling. But Bowling might be standing alone going into Daytona next week at 3 wins.
Certainly looks that way right now. Still, this fight continues on. Right back to the camera, Andrew. I can tell you that may be your favorite camera, but my favorite camera, you should know exactly what my favorite camera angles are, and that's the speed shot cameras. I love seeing them get used on the racetrack. This is from the back bumper of the 5 of Murphy as we click right to the speed shots. Thank you. But Murphy is just trying to hang on, doing everything he can down to 1. You can see just how low he's running compared to the 72 of Hunter, trying to cover him off as best he can. And I'll say the washing up, the diamonding of the corner is very good defensive-wise to keep that 72 behind him.
Murphy trying to hang on. Hunter wants to get it. Can't do it there. He'll have to regroup. Just a few laps to go for that time across the stripe. It's mostly decided for the win. Bowling has got that 1 second lead and growing, but Hunter will not be denied, it looks like, for this 3rd position. I guess he really wants to talk to us. I'm flattered, but he's got to do some work here these last couple of laps. It's so hard to pass, but he is putting up one heck of a fight. Once again, right behind Murphy off the corner. He keeps using that bottom lane, though. It's hurting him on the straightaways. He'll go top side of 1 and 2 this time. Murphy a little lower. Can't quite get to the right rear. 3 laps to go that time. By the way, TJ Ivey, who did take those 2 tires, he is 20 seconds behind the leader in a 30-second lap. He has lost 2/3 of a lap to the lead by taking those 2 left side tires. And obviously, he had to take the gamble. It is what it is. Really need another caution, as did a lot of these drivers. Oh man, and Hunter slapped the wall off of turn 2. But this time it'll be the white flag brought to you by Whiplash Simcams. For driver 99, one more time around the magic mile. There he goes by the speed shot. 1 lap to go. There is also a battle here into turn 1. Mackey and Hedgecock are close together. This is for 6th. But Tyler Bowling down the back straightaway into turn number 3. This will be 2 in a row for car 99. Chicagoland, Richmond, New Hampshire. The 3 tracks couldn't be any more different aside from the fact that Bowling has won them all. 3 wins now on the season for Tyler Bowling. 2 in a row for maybe the league's new best driver. He wins the New England Knockout 185 at New Hampshire Motor Speedway in the Full Send Cup Series. Mackey hangs on to 6th, by the way. Murphy hung on to 3rd. You see the rest of these guys come across the start-finish line, but there is the driver who swept the entire evening here at New Hampshire. Bowling wins both stages and the race.
Sweeping the night is one way to get it done. I can tell you that for certain. And it looks like Murphy held off Charlie Hunter to get that 3rd place position. Bowling, West, Murphy, Hunter, and Lesko, your top 5. And well, I think we're going to have a real big shakeup going into Daytona next week.
Oh! This is a hell of a burnout already. He is right under our drone. I love it. Sometimes these guys find the perfect spots. They don't know where the drones are that we put around the racetrack. But Tyler Bowling seemed like he knew. Beautiful stuff as he celebrates a 3rd win on the season. Again, 2nd in a row. I don't think anybody else has done that yet this season. So a big power move by the 99. We'll take a look at the unofficial race results in just a moment. Tyler Bowling just might be the new championship favorite as we get ready for this season's chase here in the Full Send Cup Series. It was Full Send by the 99. There are your top 10 results, unofficial race results. Tyler Bowling, Kevin West, Terrence Murphy spread out by the end, but Charlie Hunter right behind in 4th. Nearly had Murphy a couple of times, just couldn't quite get it done. And Lesko hangs on to a top 5. Mackey 6th, Hedgecock 7th, Brzezowski, Mills, and Petty, your top 10. You know what, Zach? For as big of an incident as we saw Jeffrey Petty have, props. He hangs on. 10th place. That's a bunch of points still.
That it is. Rolling outside the top 10, though, you've got Austin Thompson, who finishes about where he qualified tonight. Thompson started 11th, and he finishes 11th, so that's nice to see out of the 23 car. TJ Ivey ends up in the 12th spot after taking 2 tires on that last run, with Brian Matthews 13th on the running order. And then you get into the first car 1 lap down. That is Jacob Hoskins, and then it is near and far away from the rest of the field. Nicholas Martinez ends up 22 laps down in the 15th spot. Roy Grande 68 laps down. Yeah, 68 laps down in the 16th spot. Jimmy Jason 95 laps down, and 3 laps behind him is Jesse Graham in the 15 car, 17th and 18th on the grid. 19th is going to be Rayshawn Wingfield, 109 laps down. And then 20th is going to go to Brandon Banks, 124 laps down.
Your final few spots on the list. You see 21st, Applegate. That's going to be a big one to fall. Was the points leader, tied for the points lead, at least going into Indianapolis when we picked up coverage. And since then has been on a slide big time. He has these, shining moments that show through that he's got speed, he's got pace, he can fight for a championship, but tonight a big detour from that. Terry Vincent out early, not sure what happened to the 1 car, but 22nd spot there as Finlay only made it to 23rd. Blevins 24th and Newbra 25th. He just never had a chance here today. We'll, of course, talk with your top 3 drivers this evening. Pretty cut and dry top 3, honestly. It'll be good to chat with each of them, as Tyler Bowling is already waiting on us after a perfect race, just about. Most laps led. He didn't quite start on pole, so I guess that's one thing you can improve on next time, Tyler. Otherwise, absolutely perfect across the board. Most laps, both stage wins. You got the win. This is a huge shot in the arm for your season, I would think. You now lead the series as well at 3 wins.
Yeah, that felt pretty good. I get that 3rd win, and I know Grant had a really fast car tonight too, and I know Lockett, I've seen him in officials, and he raced me really hard, and he was pretty fast. So it could have been a different story with those 2 guys out there tonight at the end. But yeah, it was a pretty good race. I'm glad I said green in the end. Wasn't sure if it would have been the same story if like another caution came out with like 20 to go or something.
Yeah, what kind of vote would you have been in, hypothetically, if that had happened? Because we saw TJ Ivey, take the 2 tires, left sides at that, and that really shook things up at that last restart.
Yeah, since I knew like 45, 50 to go, I think what it was, I felt pretty good. 2 and 4, especially if that would help me roll to bottom. Pretty good there. But like I knew like if another caution came out, it would have been a no-brainer right sides. And I'm assuming the guys who took rights would have to take rights again, being at more disadvantage, or they would have just taken 4s. And I think I was sitting in all right position doing 4s there.
Daytona next week. Thankfully for you, you don't really have to worry about it. I don't know the standings just yet, but I mean, you come into tonight with 116 to the cut, and I mean, you get, again, perfect points across the board. Really kind of just a throwaway for you. How full are you going to send it, I guess, here in the Full Send Cup Series?
Like I said that. I would like to try to get some stage points. I don't know how far I'm going to be back from the next position behind me. I know Nate had some damage, and that might have brought me a little bit closer if he's 6th now, or he's still 5th. I'm not exactly sure where he's at, but either way, try to get some stage points, and after that, honestly, just try to get the team a win. That's the most important thing.
And is there maybe an agenda next week to focus on the 18 car? Of course, since he is kind of just trying to stay afloat. Had a decent run still tonight. I mean, surely could have been better with where he started that last run, right?
Yeah, he had took rights right there, and he was really pushing really hard to stay ahead of me and Kevin there, and he was just cooked his tires. But he did a hell of a job holding us off for that time being, though, for just being right sides only. I was really impressed by that. But yeah, the priority is to get him the win, to be on his bumper 24/7 next week.
Good to talk to you as always, Tyler. Did so tonight twice. Congratulations. Perfect night. We'll see you next week.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a good one.
Bowling sweeps the stages, wins the race, 120 laps led, never further south than 4th, and that was, I think, in that last run with the caution and everything. That's about as perfect as tonight as you're going to have here on iRacing. Zach, and he does it over Kevin West, who, for a while in that last run, Zach, it looked like Kevin might have a shot at the win, but here he is for you.
Yeah, Kevin West brings it home in the 2nd spot. Never really left that top 10 and stayed in contention all race long. Kevin, what do you think you needed there at the end to go up there and catch Bowling and maybe steal that win away from him?
I just need a little bit more right front tire, I think. He kind of saved his a little bit better than me the first 10 laps or so of that run. And I made a little bit of a mistake trying to drive over my head, and he got around me, and then, I never could get back around him to get the win. But we're pretty happy with second place here in the next gen. It's not my best car, but we're making gains.
Yeah, absolutely. And then as you roll into Daytona next week, what's the thought process? You are in a position that you don't necessarily have to worry about what's going on. I mean, you are comfortably locked into the chase this season. Is it just going to be ride, maybe try to get a little bit more points and improve your position in the chase seating, or just keep yourself clean and maybe just try to stick one out?
Well, I got a win earlier this season in FSRL at Echo Park, so I think we got a good shot at a win, and I'll probably just try to run up front all week and try to win the thing and try to really gain some points and hopefully better our seed into the chase.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on that second place finishing position. Hopefully we'll be talking to you again next week when we come around to Daytona, and maybe you'll be sitting one spot higher that next time.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Shout out to everybody over on TikTok. Shout out to the mobile homies. America Racing, thanks to EMR Event Park and Track Bar Racing for their support. I'll see you guys next week.
Absolutely. Kevin West, your second place finisher here in the Full Send Cup Series at New Hampshire. And Andrew, I'm sure you're absolutely loving the chance of getting to talk to Terrence Murphy, who had a hard-fought finish for third place.
That he did. Big night for the driver of the 5 here. I bet you last week, I believe, at Richmond. Had a good night there. Continue that here this evening. It's like this track to get back into the chase and do so safely is going pretty well for you, Terrence. What was it like out there in the car?
I was plowing tight the whole night, but because, I mean, this is my first week qualifying in like over a month, so P3, I'll take it. I know there's a lot of attrition tonight, so there's probably more guys that were faster than me, but so hoping for one more caution there with like 20-25 to go. I had another set of tires, but on the podium, Charlie Hunter gave me a hell of a time trying to pass me there at the end, so shout out to him. That was fun racing.
And that's got to be confidence boosting, right? To hold him off that many laps. He was going left, going right, trying to go 3 at times. It's like he's trying to find any way to get by, and he just couldn't do it. I mean, especially as we start to think about this chase that begins in, 2 weeks, really, I guess, at Darlington. You've got to feel a whole lot better now that you've gone toe-to-toe with Charlie, held him back, and clearly you can do it with these guys at the front.
Yep, it's been a up and down season for me. I finished third last season in the points, but just haven't had the consistency this year, so hopefully we're coming, putting it all together here at the end. And we got a lot of tracks in the chase that I like, so we'll finish strong.
Call your shot. I can go ahead and pull up the schedule. What tracks do you like out of the tracks remaining this season?
What's coming up? I know we got Vegas coming up. Darlington's coming up. I don't know if I'll win Darlington, but definitely a top 3 car. Vegas is my playground, so we'll look forward to that.
Any carryover from this track to Gateway in a few weeks?
I've only run Gateway once, so we'll see. I don't know a ton about that track.
Fair enough. Terrence Murphy, third place tonight. Terrence, good to talk to you. Best of luck next week at Daytona.
All right, thanks, guys.
I think Daytona is still in play for Terrence. It's still a race that he has to get absolutely right, Zach, but certainly a lot more confidence, a lot more cushion after this evening's race here at New Hampshire. And as far as talking to drivers, seeing them race, all that's all out of the way. We get to look forward to next week's race at Daytona. But in the meantime, we've got a driver of the day vote to cap off. I'll be honest, I don't really get this one too much, but I guess Kayla got her Polish power, I suppose, to give the win to Nathan Brzezowski, a driver of the day. Fair enough. I mean, he had a good run. It's not a bad win, but hey, not what I expected, that's for sure.
I really expected myself, but hey, we enjoyed to see it. We enjoyed to see Nathan being driver of the day. I would have enjoyed to see him running for the race win there at the end, but a spin will do that to you.
Hey, he's got the Whiplash SimCams logo, the old logo. I gotta give him the new one, but Whiplash SimCams logo on the back of the car too. So as we, there we go, the camera will reset in a second. Give it a moment. There, you see the logo on the back of the car. But yeah, I mean, good to chat with these guys in the race. Props to Nathan for that. He did gain a ton of positions over the course of this race, so he certainly deserves recognition for that. But as we look forward, Zach, of course, the next few broadcasts here at the channel, this is how it looks. Ooh. I like this look for the weekend. Thursday, we've got the North American Racing League. That's tomorrow night at Monza, Autodromo Nazionale Monza. It's going to be a lot of fun on the Grand Prix course there with the Porsche Cup cars. It's the pros, the aliens, if you will, 9,000, 10,000, 11,000 I rating. Going to be a lot of fun. Do not miss it. Road racing back on the menu tomorrow evening. Then Sunday at Daytona, it is the Chase Cutoff Race for the All-American Racing Network and their Bully Dog Coffee Next Gen Cup Series. Daytona bright and early Sunday morning. It's going to be wild. It was when we started the season back in February, and hey, it's going to be fun to get back there. Under the lights, it should be, I would think. Going to be a lot of fun this Sunday morning. Still trying to see who makes the chase over there. Chris Winstone needs a win. We'll see if he gets it at the World Center of Racing. And then Sunday, Zach, you know a bit about what's going on here. Do we see you in a legend car up the mountain at Mount Washington?
I sure hope so. I just got to make sure my schedule lines up properly to be able to do it. But I don't fully see why not. Well, I'll have to make some practice runs. Hopefully my pedals will cooperate, but plenty of great racing action to follow what we have shown here tonight, and you can always follow all of the Pit Stop Media, the Pit Stop TV social media. There, I need to go to bed. PitStopTV.com, Facebook.com/PitStopTV, Instagram.com/Pit_Stop_TV. There's a Discord link so you can join on in and check out all the great stuff in the Pit Stop TV Discord. And compete in our fantasy live games that we have for all of these great leagues that we broadcast. Fantasy picks, we're live for today's race and will be live for next week's race as well. And then you can also go to TikTok.com/PitStopTV1, Twitch.tv/Pit_Stop_TV, and YouTube.com/PitStopTV1, where you can compete in the NARL Driver of the Day vote and whatever other type of polls we have. In the YouTube chat. I know Andrew likes to put stuff out there about whether or not I am a doo-doo bird for not eating Bojangles and living in North Carolina.
Well, Zach, let's change gears. I just took a look over at the League Sim Racer Hub page, and points have been uploaded. Applegate takes over the points lead kind of by default since he was here. Only takes it by 5 points over Lockett. So that'll be fun to watch next week. But really, what you want to know about, well, first of all, Tyler Bowling is up to 4th in the standings. He was thinking he would only get to like 6th. He is 4th. So Tyler, if you're listening, congrats. Colin Bollinger, missing tonight, drops 5 positions. He's still safe in the chase, but much lower down. He will join Mackie Martinez and everybody ahead of them being good next week at Daytona. Brandon Banks is very close. He does get a whole lot closer to the cut line. He is now just 69 points to the good going into Daytona. Rayshawn Wingfield takes a big hit. He is now just 59 points to the good. And then it's Austin Thompson. And contrast these numbers that I'm saying with the graphic we had coming into tonight. Austin Thompson, he really helped himself. 8 extra points. It doesn't sound like a whole lot, but that is nearly a full stage of points extra that he has now to cushion himself to that cut line. He should be safe, I would think, but anything can happen. I'd say Banks, Wingfield, and Thompson, barring some really crazy things next week, should be safe in the chase. That said, then you get to everybody else. Terrence Murphy picks up 16 points on the cut line. He is now 38 to the good. That's almost safe. I'm not willing to say safe, but almost safe for Terrence Murphy. He can at least breathe a whole lot more, I guess, heavily, maybe. I mean, he can breathe. Anyways, and then Bryce Hedgecock is now on the in, Zach. He ends up going from 4 points out to 13 points in, so a 17-point swing there for the 18 car. Mills is now the first one out. He is 13 behind Hedgecock, and behind that, it's Newbraw, 15 out, Petty, 20 out, so he really just maintains, unfortunately. But he at least stays alive. Blevins is now 31 out, so he lost... Blevins lost a good bit. And then Terry Vincent is just about eliminated. He is 42 back. And behind that, from Easley down through Tucker, Bernhardt, Graham, Matthews, everybody else, they are all now eliminated from chase contention. So things change up big time, that's for sure. I don't really know what to make of it all, other than Daytona next week is going to be a must-watch.
Oh, I think so. I think we're in for a real treat at Daytona.
It'll be a lot of fun. Make sure to tune in next week as the Full Send Cup Series goes racing next Wednesday, September the 2nd at Daytona International Speedway. As for this evening's festivities here at New Hampshire, that is it. One more thank you to our partners, of course, with the Full Send Cup Series, Grid Gold, Ivy Designs, and Fish Speed Brakes. Ivy Designs and their pole award went, of course, to the driver of the 57, Grant Applegate, who led us to the green. He did not make it to the end, and the Fish Speed restart zone was used 8 times tonight. The initial start 7 times after 4 cautions. A big thank you as well to our partners here at the channel, Whiplash SimCams, MX Wraps, ATVO, Murdos Esports, CC's Business, the North American Racing League, Whiplash Creative, MX Designs, and of course, Pot Roast TV. Kayla, thank you again. But that's it for us here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you all next time, hopefully tomorrow night, North American Racing League action. It'll be myself and Chris Winstone on the call. Going to be a lot of fun at Monza. We'll see you there.